DreamHack Open is brought to you by Astro, Monster Energy, Corsair, Hacks, and GGBet.
It is time for the DreamHack Open Tour 2018 Grand Final. Both North and HellRaisers have had to battle through hardship to get here. North less than HellRaisers. It's kind of a tale of two sides here. One team that dropped into the lower bracket and the other that stormed through their first two best of ones. And that trophy you just saw is what they are looking to secure by the end of the evening. And of course, that comes with bragging rights and the lion's share of $100,000. I'd like to thank the people helping make this show possible: Astro, Corsair, Monster Energy, and Hacks. I'm Parla, your desk host, and I'm joined by Sudhen, also known as Blair, and Natu Yuna Lepanen. Guys, it's time!
It's time.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
The Rumble. Yes, we are.
Good.
Excuse me, I thought you were going to continue.
Oh no, I was expecting some energy because I just can't wait to see what these guys do. I think it's a very interesting final and something that we should all be looking forward to, right?
Absolutely. It's going to be one cracker of a game. It's a rematch. The last time these two guys played on LAN was in the Grand Finals, in which HR managed to take it in overtime on map number 3.
Indeed. There's some history between these guys, Natu.
Yeah, indeed there is. And also in this tournament, it both cool storylines in the sense that HR starting out really rough, getting totally destroyed by Envy, and then looking like they've just reborn and played phenomenally. And then you have North, obviously. They've struggled for such a long time. Now they make a final. That would be a great time for them to be lifting a trophy and get a bit of glimmer of hope in them going forward as well. So I feel this is a very, very cool pairing for this final.
Exactly, and let's get up the bracket so we can see some of the history from this event. This was the playoff bracket that we have had today. North versus Gambit went 2-1. Godsend HR went 2-0, leading us to the grand final now. But as we mentioned just before, different routes to this playoff bracket throughout the tournament for these two teams. Blair.
Absolutely. Like Godsend, if you're talking about North, for example, they came off looking really solid. Dust 2 being played, the first time we're seeing them play, and they were very impressive, at least in the second time around. They did drop a map to Godsend, but overall, I think it was a Gambit. But overall, they really didn't look like they were, in any danger, so to speak. They're looking really solid. I think all the elements and pieces are falling into place at the moment. You know, you look at AZ, he's performing great. Mert seems to have found his stride as well. Valde just being Valde, great stuff from him. So the team's looking solid. HR, like you mentioned, horrendous start, 16-3 by Envious, and then they proceeded to dismantle every team they've played so far. Not one team has got into double digits against them.
Natu, let's get into the maps that we think could potentially be played in this grand final.
Well, I mean, you would think that the usual suspects are going to be North is going to take off Cash, and HR is going to take out Nuke. So that will leave Dust 2. They've already showed they can play it.
Yes, they have. They played it 3 times now at this event.
North obviously seem to be wanting to set that precedent that it's a map that they will play, it's a map that they want to be taking a part of, so I feel like they will definitely pick it. Now, also for HellRaisers, I feel like, what do they want to go? I feel like they are still in a state where they should go something that they are comfortable with. It will be a map that will be also something the North will be fine with, but I think Overpass is not a bad pick for them.
I think they might actually go for Inferno.
It's very possible, yeah.
So there we go.
We're seeing the first two bans come out. Cash on the side of North, Nuke from HellRaisers, kind of expected there to an extent.
Inferno, Dust 2
First
perhaps.
2 picks, Mirage and Inferno. Okay, so North there, straying slightly away from the formula we've seen from them so far and not picking Dust 2.
A curveball in the throwing.
Wow, okay.
It gets left open. Okay, fair enough.
Left open until the end. HellRaisers fancying that could be a decent shot at a decider map. They didn't want to ban it out.
No, I mean, it is, like we said before, Dust 2 is still a map that is only just being played a couple times competitively for any team ever, right?
Yes.
So it is still something that no team can really claim to be there. So I think it doesn't really favor either of the two. It just shows, that it was HR that veto last, right? So it just shows that they're fine with it, being in there.
Yeah, Sudan, we can come back to you very shortly, but first, let's hear from our two teams and the journeys they've had to this grand final.
Again, it's this mid-damage Mertz. Oh, right through the light pole. Oh, Mertz with another.
HellRaisers will be a tough opponent. We played against them at Betnet, where it was a really close match and they ended up winning. With that being said, I have beaten them once here in Tours in the final, and I'm ready to do it again.
He's not going to go anywhere here. He's even got teammates to help, or so he did. It all does boil down to Woxic, who controls with headshots of his own.
So we will face against the North, and we are pretty confident against them. And because, I would say we are the favorites because we beat them to last LAN. So I would say, yeah, we should be the favorite here. I can't wait until we play the final and finally lift another trophy.
I really want to lift this trophy once again with Kirby.
MSL there, the in-game leader for North, saying he really wants to lift this trophy, and in part, they kind of need it. Anyway, Blair, what did you want to mention before we went into that piece?
No, just wanted to talk about that map pick where North picking Mirage instead of going for Dust 2. Now I get it, they saw, instead of picking Overpass, that's the map I was expecting them to pick, because I feel, and they should know this themselves as well, that they are the better team on Overpass especially. It's a very highly tactical map, HR do kind of play a little loosely, and they've been allowed those wins because their opponents were not that great, to be very honest. And I think North could have picked Overpass. The fact that they went for this Mirage pick, like you mentioned, Nadu, right, in a high-stakes game like this, you want to play to your comfort zone, you want to play on the maps you're good at, no matter how good your opponents are as well on that.
In their situation, yeah.
Yeah, in their situation especially. So it is a curveball. It could work out in their favor, but yeah, it definitely does spice things up.
Yeah, this man right here, Kirby, I think is this one that we were going to be looking at, bringing the numbers, because it's been Valda, it's been Mertz. There's the two heavy hitters on this team so far in this tournament, and they will need Kirby to come in and be that third, well, I don't want to say the third wheel, but the third cylinder.
The third cylinder in the engine.
If it's a car,
100 BPM of extra torque turbos.
No, if it's a car, you need 4 wheels and you need a driver. MSL's right there. He's a driver. That's a perfect
Unless
vehicle.
it's a tricycle. That's
Then
my
it's a
favorite
problem.
type of car.
All right then.
All right.
Valde, not many people sing praises for this guy, but he's phenomenal, right? He's just a rock. Turns up every single time. I'm expecting him to perform this time as well. But like you mentioned, Nadu, I completely agree. AZ and Kirby haven't been bad. They've been a little comparatively quiet compared to Meds and
AZ had his moments, right?
He had his moments on his T side especially. He was great. And Kirby as well. If you just look at the stats, the numbers are great. Maybe not that high impact frags overall, but yeah, we're gonna need everyone to step up here.
Indeed. And I'd just like to point out and also give a shout out to the CT and Terrorist in the crowd, who are just, showing that we don't always need to fight it out and we can be friends.
We can be friends.
Exactly, but
even we can be, Paula.
HellRaisers, the team we should talk about now, are definitely not going to be friendly on the server when it comes to North. Which are the players here that we should be looking out for in the final? Because it seems like Issa and Woxic have definitely had a standout tournament so far.
Yeah, if you want to pick someone else, you could pretty much pick any one of them, but Angel definitely.
Yes.
I think we've given him through the years all the praise that we could, so it's going to get a little bit repetitive, but for an in-game leader, he is such an aggressive monster. He makes plays. He dares to do them. We saw it in the semifinal against Godsend. Someone pop flashes over Monster, he goes in and he just tears that CT defense apart on his own. So yeah, he's a guy really to watch too, and very enjoyable also. Probably not a coach's dream every now and again, because he does make some plays in some situations that does give you a gray hair or two, but very, very, very friendly from a spectator point of view.
Absolutely. And look, yeah, like you mentioned, we've already spoken about Isa, we've spoken about Woxic and Angel. The last time I saw...
The crowd pleaser.
I love Isa, right? He's
Yeah.
such a friendly guy, such a lively
He's a flirt
guy.
with the camera.
He's a flirt indeed. And here's the thing, Bondik, last time when he played against North, Bondik had some memorable clutches, 1v3s, 1v4s. So I'm expecting him, like he's a guy who kind of like shines. He has his great moments, his, this highlight reel worthy moments, right? And Dead Fox, here's the thing, sometimes he just disappears from the server and sometimes he's there. Like he was pretty damn decent yesterday and today as well. So I like to see him, come into his own as well. It is rough for him, right? He was the dedicated opper until Woxic came in. Now he's gonna do the secondary opping role, do kind of some of the more support-related roles. But I think he's slowly but surely fitting into that slot.
Natu, what about the battle of the coaches? Ave versus Yonta.
Yeah, I mean, Ave, obviously, we haven't really had a lot of opportunities to talk
No, we
to him
haven't.
much.
He's relatively new after the departure of Rugger.
Obviously, he's a veteran in the franchise of Counter-Strike. He comes from the Danish fame MTW back in the day. He used to be one of the best team in the world, basically. And Jonta as well. He has a massive pedigree of Counter-Strike knowledge, so yeah.
Now we can move into head-to-head, and our analysts have chosen Valda and Woxic to take a bit of a closer look at, and honestly, you can barely separate them.
Absolutely. Like if you look, of course, the numbers are a little bit inflated for Woxic because he has obviously played more maps than Valda has. But here's the thing for Woxic, right? Even though he's not top fragging like Isa is at the moment, if you look at his opping on the T side, the way he opens up sides single-handedly, aggressive T side opping, that's something which I feel Merz is not able to really match up to. So he is the player to watch for me. And Valde, like, what else can we add to the fact that he has been the rock of this team? He's the reason this team is still here in this tournament.
To an extent,
finals.
I mean, he was on Heroic for that period and then he left, or whatever the circumstances were, and he was kind of in the Wild West and then ended up on North. Do you feel that he's had the impact he should?
Yeah, I mean, what can you say? Definitely.
Yeah, it goes without saying, right? But he's also brought a lot of confidence to the team, I think.
Yeah.
And over time, he has kind of let that spread throughout the rest of the guys. I know him personally, and he carries himself very, very well. Everybody at home, if you are in Twitch chat, don't forget to vote on who you think or you would want to win. Exclamation mark NOR for North and exclamation mark HR. We'll be getting into our predictions soon, but right now we can just continue to mull over some details. With how the maps have been picked, you guys, I feel, because of that Dust 2 decide, if it does go to that third map, are you potentially favoring North here?
Like I said, I don't think Dust 2 really favors either of the two teams, honestly. It'll come down to whoever is feeling that flow, because Dust 2 is also, it's not like the most tactical map. You don't need to be like mega prepared. All you need to be, you're super good at reacting and taking calculated risk on the CT side. So
Yeah.
I feel like HR has definitely shown they have all those qualities.
The reason why I mention it again is because we've just seen Astralis lift a huge trophy, and they seem to have integrated Dust 2 relatively well into their map pool. Maybe North are kind of doing that at the same time, and HellRaisers, I don't know how prepared they can be for a team that has a bit more structure than them on that map.
Yeah, but I mean, North has always been the kind of team that's adopted new things straight away. So it's not really surprising.
And also, like you mentioned, like if you look at Dust 2, for example, how much can you really prepare for that map, right? It is kind of limited. Yes, we did see them do some cool stuff, but then again, HR are a team who have the ability to adapt to be more explosive, which can work out in their favor on Dust 2.
Yeah.
But touching on what you said, Paula, like if you're talking about the maps, right? This Mirage pick, I feel, is very shaky for the North.
It's risky, right?
It's very risky. I thought it'd easily go to map number 3 if they'd gone for Overpass, or even, Overpass at the very least. But Mirage, that makes me a little scared for these guys.
Indeed. Now it is time for 3 reasons brought to you by Hacks.
Yeah, we will be going through them now. And the 3 reasons why HR is going to be crowned the champion and is going to be lifting that trophy by the end of the night. We're going to start off with Angel, Issa, and Voxic. Those 3 are just going to wreck it.
They're going to come in like a wrecking
They
ball.
are going to exactly.
Miley
Cyrus style. They've played so well this tournament.
Naked.
And they're feeling so good. You can tell everything they do is just, the flow is so nice to watch. And that is a good segue to go to the second reason, which is HellRaisers well-rounded right now. They're playing very well. That was one of my things that I was saying before, is that usually they're very one-dimensional. They kind of lack that last 10% in the way they play. But this time we've seen them really be proactive. We've seen them be more diverse on the T side. They're playing really well in the afterbound situations, mid-round situations. So that's a very, very good look for them. And I think one of the most important factors here is that they are mentally in the right place.
Indeed.
If you watch their body language,
Indeed.
you watch them how they are as players and how it's reflecting to the way they're playing as individuals, this is a very different ball game for them than it is for North. North is desperate to win this title, while you have the guys from HellRaisers who are having a lot of fun and showcasing in the way they're playing. And I feel like that's going to be the fuel to the fire they need to take this title.
Well, we might as well move into predictions. I thought you were going to stick close to home with North, but Natu has officially voted for HR.
I mean, there's a Hungarian player on HellRaisers, and Hungarian is it's in the same category of languages, in the same family tree of
same
languages as
bloodline.
Finnish.
Oh,
Okay, well, you've
He's stretching
absolutely
it.
destroyed me geographically as well.
Get wrecked.
Blair, who are you going to put your money on in this grand final?
I'm going to agree with Natu on this. Like, I think it's going to be HR. I thought it was going to be a much more closer affair, but looking at that map pick coming out from North, I think it's going to be an easier affair for HR.
Okay, well, for the sake of argument, and also because I think North do have a potential to beat HR, I'll go with them. So 2 for HR, 1 for North from myself. And now let's speak to our casters. It's Vince and Risk. Guys, this grand final is going to be epic. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Oh yeah, ready for this.
As a Dane, surely you're going with North,
Yeah,
right?
Risk, tell us about your emotional investment in this moment, seeing a Danish team in a grand final directly after another Danish team has been in a grand final. You must be celebrating.
Yeah, things are pretty good in Denmark right now. This is also could be the repeat of Tour 2 years ago, where Dignitas, still led by MSL back then, Caribou also on the team, took the trophy here. So they're looking to do that again, of course. And with all the new blood in the team, with all the troubles they've had, surely they're gonna give it everything. But still, I still have to agree with the facts that are coming from Natu and the desk in general. HR, they look really good. This is going to be such a hard game.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think I will go with HellRaisers, honestly. The way Woxic has been playing in Issa, unbelievable. I'm not sure that North have the mental strength to actually close out this finals. It should be theirs, but we know that when they get close, often they crumble.
Yeah.
All right, well, guys, the game is ready. It's North versus HR. Vince and Risk, over to you.
Thank you very much, Pala. Yeah, so best of 3 grand finals, North and HellRaisers. I think a lot of teams, when they saw that HellRaisers came over to this event rather than obviously the EPL finals, were expecting them to go the distance and get in the finals. I think many people have expected these 2 teams here, really.
Yeah, I agree totally, because the third team that could be in the mix here is Gambit, but Gambit has been pretty much up and down lately.
Yeah.
They're very inconsistent, and the consistency that I felt like North is finding throughout this tournament, and they have found in the latest couple of weeks since they did the role change with AC, I feel like this is the consistency they need. But then again, HellRaisers, you said it, they have Woxic, they have Issa, they have Angel who can just go in and get entries onto a bomb site. I feel like that's the thing that North is missing right now, because the stars in Caribbean and Valde are not on that level just yet. They're slightly below it, in my opinion.
Completely agree, but the thing with North, and this is something that we mentioned about Gambit too, they do have the pieces of the puzzle to cause, I don't even want to call it an upset. I think this is quite evenly matched. I would slightly favour HellRaisers, but there's so many question marks alongside North. Will MSL be able to hold things together? Will we see Valda have another solid performance? You've also seen the likes of Kirby have some moments. AZ's had some moments too. So are they able to all shine when it counts? That for me is the main question. But as we're starting off on Mirage, do you think this favours HellRaisers?
I have this this theory that if both teams win their map pick, then we're going to go to Dust 2, which is the third map, and then North are going to win it.
Right.
But I think if HellRaisers win the map pick of North, then we're going to see a 2-0. And Mirage will be the decider of that theory, to be honest, because if they can take their own map, then my theory kind of sticks. If HellRaisers take this one, I think it's going to be a 2-0.
All right, so you think if North are going to win, we're going to have to go the distance?
Yes, North will have to win Mirage here. I don't think they can win in that secondary map. I think the map pool and the general aim, versatility, is too strong. But here we go, Vince. 2 smokes, 4 flashbangs for North in this pistol.
Well, here we go, ladies and gents. The finals have begun. Mirage with North on the T side. HellRaisers looking to defend, and they're going to have to defend the bomb site over on B, and Kiabi instantly alleviating Woxic. But Dead Fox with the one tap of his own, trying to hold on desperately, won't be happening, and therefore the B side has now been claimed, and it's just got a whole lot worse as Bondik and Issa, the last two straggling CTs remaining. They have stalled the bomb a little while longer. North aren't completely going in for this. Now they're going to go for the plant in the hands of Mertz. Another player to watch out for against Woxic. Beautiful one tap by AZ. That probably has just finalized the round. Indeed it will. And North off to a winning start.
Yeah, and the last time they played Mirage, these two teams were at the BestNet Masters. Not the final, but one of the group games. And that was at 16-12 for the guys over at HellRaisers. But I feel like North has evolved a lot since that result. And I feel like that could prove to be an even stronger, like even closer one. I could foresee maybe even an overtime, a 14-16 result here. And with North winning the pistol round, we know how dangerous HellRaisers can be with C-sets. We definitely also saw Woxic swing that USPS earlier on Inferno in that semi-final. But North, they're putting so much respect on him right now. 2 AKs, 2 Galils, and look at that, entries left, right, and center. One player gone down though, but AC comes in swinging. MSL in middle. So just gonna gun down Angel, and that leaves Dead Fox all alone, 1v4.
Yeah, not much to talk about really. Ultimately, North just played aggressive with their rifles. As you said, lack of SMGs, make them stick. Now they can look to farm up a few more kills in the next round, where ultimately HellRaisers will have very little to offer. Woxic didn't really buy anything, so maybe he can have an AWP in the next round.
I do agree with the choice, though. Like, going up against HellRaisers, you know the aim of those players are so dangerous. So instead of just going in with, the SMGs, the MAC-10s, and go and challenge with a quick push, just play the angles, play the long range, and play the duels you're sure to win, because the aim on these players is dangerous. Right now, MSL is going to be caught out. See how many he gets. Good damage. Only 2 frags, though. Bondik's still alive. Valde comes in. Map control is in the hands of North, and another one. Clean sweep. Mertz will even get to save his MAC-10 problem. As he goes down. But Valde picks it up. So, as one would expect, they win the pistol straight, 2 rounds after it. 3-0. But Vince, this is where the AWP of Woxic comes in.
Yes. This is where things can start to turn around. That being said, though, it is a glass cannon as a result of, no kills that Woxic's picked up so far. Not able to buffer into more grenades either. So it is a lackluster buy. No kits on the table for HellRaisers. And North have been very aggressive thus far. Will they continue to turn up the heat? Or is this where they slow things down somewhat? They are stacking out of ramp with just the one player in mid. Tossing in a flashbang. That's going to be MSL. Woxic thinks about pulling the trigger, but now has to turn his attention elsewhere as AC's gone in for 2 huge entries, but it has been counteracted by the fragging power of HellRaisers. Woxic misses out on that opportunity. That could cost them dearly, but Angel goes on to AZ. HellRaisers do have the player advantage for the time being, with a bomb being forced down. Dead Fox may be able to stop this, not quite, but picks off Mertz on the retreat, leaving Kiabi in a 1-on-3. Does have Tetris by himself, but it's going to be a double peak, and HellRaisers welcome themselves into this map with their first round win.
Very nicely played by Angel, picking up 3 frags there. And also, just in general, outspacing North. When they come into that bomb set, they're picked off one by one, forced into going into duels. Like Kirby is so far ahead on stairs as well, trying to take the duel into the connector, while his 2 teammates are trying to get into towards the bomb site. But there's no smoke for CT. So that whole situation quickly goes wrong. Once more, Woxic has that up, save from the last round. Mertz has picked one up of his own, and that's one of the duels that I'm looking for in this matchup as well. Like Woxic against Mertz, who's going to come out on top there? I think that's also going to be a decisive factor when you look at the game and how the duels are going to go here.
Sure, especially if we do go down to Dust 2.
Yeah.
Because that is pretty much an AWPer's paradise, where both of them will fancy themselves. But of course, that is a long way in the future. The here and now is Mirage in our first map on the grand final stage. Both AWPers are poised to have a crack at each other, and this time Woxic has Kevlar to follow up on the AWP. It's no longer a glass cannon.
Exactly. Last time around these 2 teams played Mirage, Woxic ended up at a +26 scoreline. Let's see if he can do even better now, even though that's probably an unreasonable pressure to put on him. He has the potential, though. That's the crazy part about him. Mid control has been taken by the T side. Slowly moving forward. MSL and the gang just checking every corner. Checking every box on the list. Molotov towards his position. Now they know he's there. Can bang from the smoke. What will happen? That's going to be Mertz from the top of mid. And now that part of the map is cleared out. Now the question is, do they want to go for the split B, or they want to go for the connected play and one boost into the window and go for the split A?
Well, with AZ and Palace, I think the decision has been made that they're going to go for the A hit. Angel now behind enemy lines is going to rip out with 2. Nearly a third. Excellent work by him. And it may just about buy up enough time for Bondik to rattle off some more from Ramp. Still alive, somehow, some way. 23 seconds left. And North looked lost. It was looking great for them up until Angel struck.
Definitely. Mertz also missed a huge shot and now taking out Bondik and Deadfox both coming in with one. And I feel like Mertz has that one chance, like Bondik is on A ramp, Mertz comes in with the AWP, he misses a crucial shot. If he wins that, it's a 2v1. Then they can probably just like take a revenge duel and win the game or win the round here. But Mertz missing a huge crucial shot with the AWP in the beginning of this game, and hopefully that doesn't paint a picture of what's to come. Because if Mertz goes into that situation, they were talking about the players in almost every interview they've done before this, they're lacking self-confidence. If that affects an AWPer like Mertz, that's going to be a big problem, especially if Woxic is on the other end of that spectrum, just gaining confidence from every single duel.
It can be a very unforgiving weapon when things aren't going right for you.
Yep.
And Woxic, who has been phenomenal this event, we'll have to see. I mean, very much the same could be said for HellRaisers. You know, they haven't been in this situation a whole great deal, and maybe questions are going to start to bounce around in their own heads. But for the time being, it was a rough start with North taking the pistol. Now it's looking like they're going to settle themselves into a 3-3, barring something disastrous happening here in round 6. Not much utility to play with either, just the 2 smokes and a flashbang.
Yeah, this is just going to be the quick A push. Eza on the receiving end. Angel can actually just spray through the smoke, but Iza's position here is key. Just gonna come in, spray away M4A4 close range. Ace is gonna get one consolidation frag with the Desert Eagle, but it's gonna be over. That's gonna be another round on the board for HellRaisers, tying us up 3-3.
AZ with his 7 kills has landed some pretty solid entry frags thus far, but they're going to need more from him. But it is full AK-47, so we're wondering about Mertz. You know, would he have as much impact? Wasn't afforded the opportunity to pick up an AWP in this round.
Interesting choices. What are they going to go for now? I feel like North, they haven't really hit that A bomb or that B bomb site so much. Right now they're going for mid control. At the same time, HellRaisers, they're checking it very aggressively. Deep nade takes a lot of damage off North.
MSL and Valda both feeling the sting, but undeterred to push straight out. Bondik chances his arm with some spray through the smoke. Needs to back away with his A1S. Doesn't have as much bullets in the chamber as the likes of the A4. But North, not really investing too much for the time being. They're just chilling out the top of mid, maybe hoping that HellRaisers waste some more utility.
Yeah, there's plenty of time to go. They can waste another 30 seconds here without any problems. Kirby has rotated in from underpass, now close to that connector. Going back now, as it looks like they're gearing up for a B play. Let's see how this one shapes out. 2 players towards that B bomb site currently, both of them on short. If they get that double kill early on short with a good pop flash, they're going to be able to take that site for free afterwards. Let's see.
It is Deadfox and Angel watching one another's backs. Angel is about to see some action, and MSL goes straight through, perforates the first frag. Deadfox back with 2 of his own. A valiant attempt, but ultimately he was just overwhelmed. Has that given HellRaisers a chance to close this round out? 30 seconds remaining. Throwing in flashes and smokes aplenty into kitchen to stop them from denying the bomb plant, which will now go down in the capable hands of Valda. It is planted for the close corner of kitchen. And Kirby feels compelled to go peeking. That's going to cost him, and that's all down to Valda. The bomb planter has to come out clutch. And HellRaisers sweep him aside. It was just too easy in the end.
Yeah, you kind of feel like the setup for the post plant is really nice for North, but then individual choices throw it away in the end there. It's always a hard gamble if you're on that bomb site. If you feel like, okay, this might be my perfect time to strike, they have their back turned or flashes in the hand. But in this case, wrong choice made, and that's just the round gone right there. But once more, like, they get into that B bomb site. I feel like they could try utilize that a bit more. They've gone a lot A in the last couple of rounds, so that B seems to be like a real opportunity. Timeout has been called by MSL. That could be one of the things they're discussing right now. Seems like Ave, the coach, also is trying to give his opinion. Valuable addition to the North side. Legendary name from 1.6.
It will be a bit of a concern because since the pistol round and the subsequent 2 afterwards, and North taking a 3-0 lead. These rifle rounds have been pretty rough, you know. HellRaisers previous round kept alive 3. One before that, they kept alive 1. They only lost 1 player, so their economy is starting to build on a few players. Woxic up to 7.3k, so he can afford another AWP even if he were to die. So need to make sure they don't let this just get out of control.
Yeah. I think the plan right now for North is take the timeout and then go for a quick explode play onto A. They have 1 player towards mid, and he can be the one to maybe fake out the B play, that's MSL, while the rest of the team is actually setting up for the A play. So let's see. Push out. Issa will take 1, eventually taken out.
May not be good enough for HellRaisers. They needed more. Kirby spots himself some prey, and Angel will be devoured whole. Woxic and Dead Fox, polar opposite sides of the map. There'll be no unity just yet, so Woxic needs to do it alone. Lands the shot through the smoke, and that is the bomb sprawling out into the open. And there isn't a player close by to get the quick plant in the smoke either.
MSL's flank, though, there's 1 minute remaining. That's why they're not so keen on planting the bomb, as also just dropped in front of the smoke. But MSL will get the free frag on Woxic in now. And that's the flank that has been coming for the last 40 seconds. That's what North has been waiting for. Dead Fox, though, can't double up. And the flank from MSL is the deciding factor in this round. It was supposed to be the fake, but he actually ends up playing the lurker in this scenario. Very nicely played from MSL.
Adapting to the situation, being versatile. And there was a moment there when Woxic landed the shot and the bomb actually went straight towards the CT boxes. We think, oh no, North, not like this.
I feel like that's a scenario where the old North team, so to say, would have panicked and went for the aggression. But they wait for MSL to make the full flank happen. They know he has the potential of making that work. Cool, calm, and collected is something I've wanted to say about North in a long time, but haven't been able to. In this round here, I actually feel like that's the right words to use.
HellRaisers will go in for a full buy. As we discussed prior, Woxic had enough for another AWP. It does put Dead Fox down to a CZ. And no kits collectively for the CTs. It's peering through from Connector. There is Kirby down there laid in wait. But at the moment, it is more of a case of North trying to feel their way through mid. 3 players towards the boxes. It is AZ again on Palace by himself, and now the nades are going to start to rain into window. Should be a repeat from HellRaisers to see if they can stop this, but a smoke lands right in their face on Connector, so they're pretty much going to have to sit and bide their time on A side.
Keb is playing the Connector position. He's using all these smokes to get map control into the Connector, and then it's going to be the A split, AC up in apartments, in Palace, if you will. And the remaining 3 players are North, going to hit it from ramp. Mertz potentially to open up. Already now, 1 player on the bomb side, 1 CT and 1 in jungle. Mertz missing the opener.
Woxic will not be landing on this time of asking, but it is going to be Bondic with a 1-for-1 trade before he's burnt alive. Issa is going to be called upon, but AZ once again landing entry frags from Palace. He sees tailor-made for this position. Woxic isn't done just yet. Once again, we'll drop the bomb planter, and the bomb has got on top of the boxes. Could be a bit awkward, but now it is all on Woxic. 1 on 3, they know exactly where he is. Unfortunately for North, they don't have any nades to deal with him, but it's not required. Plenty of bullets put down range through the CT boxes, and finally Kirby's will connect right between the eyes. North regain the lead.
Ace is on point right now. He has been throughout this tournament, and for those of you guys not exactly familiar with the inner workings on this lineup, he had a role of almost like a support, like sacrificial role for a long time. But I think around 4 or 5 weeks ago, they actually changed that. So he's more playing the entry fragger, not support, but entry fragger lurker role when MSL's not playing it. And this is really proving to be a change that has helped him. Throughout this tournament, we see the fruits come down from the tree from this one, and everyone's just looking at him and saying, okay, he can actually play at this level. And we haven't seen this level since like a year ago, maybe.
That's what I was going to say. At one point, he was touted as being one of the hot Danish prospects, and he kind of went under the radar for a while. But as it stands, he's 11-5. By quite a distance, opening up a nice lead. Kirby, timing's not going to help him, but fortunately, it's just the USP that's there to greet him. Any other gun, and that probably would have been him dead. And now Dead Fox going to see if he can use his sidearm. Does land some shots, but it's not going to be enough. And North looking like they're going to take this round with ease. Bondic all that remains.
This is a bit too much for Bondic. Great player, but this is an impossible scenario. Valve is looking to survive here. Doesn't want to give him an AK for free. Surely that's not going to be the case, but 6-4. But so far, as we would expect, like it's North map choice, they're going to be leading a little bit, but very close game so far.
Yeah, we said this was pretty much a must-win map for North. Going forward to Inferno next. Bondik looking desperately for an exit frag, see if he can get his hands on one of these AK-47s, but MSL should chop him down. And that's exactly what happens. So the 6-4 scoreline has become a reality. HellRaisers, in terms of their funds, it's not bad, but it's not great. And I think that's maybe one of the reasons that we're getting this tactical timeout, because they have about mid-4,000s across the board. They wouldn't have enough for an AWP. And it's really... Woxic is one of our main hitters.
Yeah.
Do we just half-buy and allow him to get an AWP in the next round?
Yeah, exactly. I could see a CZ Desert Eagle buy coming in here. Maybe the good old CZ Scout combination could do something, but it's a hard one. And that's where Angel comes in. I feel like he's one of the most decisive in-game leaders we have in the game right now. And also one of the in-game leaders who will just go in and do opening kills as well. Can't see it, but HellRaisers did decide to buy up here. So no AWP for Woxic. It will be an M4 and head armor for him.
Again, prioritizing, other than Dead Fox, on firepower over utilities. So they're going to have no kits and pretty much the worst possible start. Mertz and AZ straight through mid. Angel and Woxic have been completely destroyed. As is this round, really, for HellRaisers. It would take a massive, colossal Herculean throw for North to lose from this point. But that's one way of starting things off.
That's what Bondik does, right? I actually like the way the North approached this after the tactical timeout, because usually sometimes after a tactical timeout, the team that takes the timeout will be like, okay, we looked at a default, this is what we do to counter it, but North are like, we're going to do the exact same default. They try to go aggressive mid, we'll do the same thing, we'll just hit our shots. Mertz with one, AZ with one, shut down that mid aggression completely, and the timeout is pretty much for nothing now.
As is the full buy. They could have pieced out and came back. I mean, maybe one thing in the back of their mind is that this half is starting to get towards its conclusion, and if they were to have half-bought, it would have been like a 7-4 scoreline. Could Woxic really have turned it round? It's not as if he's fragging completely out of his mind right now. He's 6 and 8. Bondik, in the meanwhile, is going to get forced out of position. That flashbang destroying his vision, but still spots Kirby. Valda, though, will get the return, and it's all down to Dead Fox. He does have some support coming in the form of Issa from Kitchen, but he has been demolished, as will Dead Fox. 7-4 lead.
This was almost a perfect B execute. The only thing that was missing was the last two players. The timing they jumped down was a bit awkward. Dead Fox could have potentially like wide peeked around the smoke and got a few kills, but the way that the smoke lands, they get that entry, and just the timing of the two first players is perfect for North. And that's some of the things that you're going to be able to see in this matchup. Like the focus on executes and the timings is so on point for this team, and that's why they've been boot camp for the last couple of weeks here, and they're really preparing for this. They have a bunch of tournaments coming in as well. Kjaerbye missed a shaky aim. We'll find the first one. Mertz and Valde chiming in as well. Woxic once more. They're getting punished from this defensive position up towards Palace. Bondik was there last time around. This time it's Woxic with the CZ-75, and how is this falling apart? That was CZ's, Vince. What happened?
CZ go, I guess. There was a Desert Eagle thrown in the mix too, but I don't think it really helped North that they effectively went out 1 by 1 against pistols with no real smokes, no real flashbangs, no Molotovs. They went out completely dry, and you basically play into HellRaisers' wheelhouse there.
Like, don't underestimate a pistol round in CS. Like the CZ, the Desert Eagle in the right hands, especially if you don't check positions like the one up in Palace. Like, Bondik was there last round. Woxic is there again now. How is that not pre-fired? Because that should be on the list. You see here though, Woxic taken out with the AWP. 1-1 trade. Quick push onto the side.
Woxic hasn't really had the impact that we were looking for. And Dead Fox and Issa have to try and survive. Valda seems like a completely unnecessary death. And again, North have given HellRaisers an opportunity. And Kjaerbye will just about lay Issa off the table. However, he's been shuffled off his mortal coil too. And now it's all about the in-game leader versus Dead Fox, who is going to be looking to have a quick peek. The bomb's down and the spray's on point. Kind of unfortunate for Dead Fox. He had no idea where MSL was. In previous rounds, of course, it was MSL that was going through CT spawn, through connector, through window. So he was just spinning around.
Good old Matthias. Coming in clutch. That's not a sentence we get to say a lot. MSL with a clutch. Sadly not. He comes in when he's needed. And Now, once more, the default, they take mid control to begin with. This is like textbook Mirage stuff right now. Walking in, smoke towards short, smoke towards a window, take connected control, see if they can find an opening. Force the CTs to burn their utility as well, but nice spray by Issa there. AC taken out through the smoke. This is where the mid-round calling starts to come in, okay. Taking the map control, we lost the first man, we didn't trade anything for it, what do we do now? And looks like the call is to go for the B push instead. Still 4 Molotovs, 2 smokes as well, so plenty of utilities to make this execute work.
And a vitally important first pick too for Issa, as a lack of grenades and lack of weapons are on point, but now MSL out first. Hyper-aggressive, needs to be careful here. There are a plethora of CTs waiting for him, and it's Issa that will put the final nail in the coffin to his life. Mertz in the meanwhile chimes back, but he is now alone. A one-man army with an AWP as his partner. He's about to get shot by Angel. What? That looked like it connected. How is that possible? If Mertz wins this round now, if Mertz had won that round, I think I'd have just left the building.
Yeah.
But that right click looked on.
Just CSGO things.
Maybe slightly hit the side instead, but
One thing I'd like to highlight as well, the movement from Dead Fox to get away from that duel, like he almost bunny jumps around the back pillar just to survive. That is so good for him, because the longer he just stays alive and is at that bench position to the left of the corner, like the more of a nuisance he'll be. That's a sick no-scope, but isolated incident in a round that doesn't go their way. North is on a force buy. 2 CZs, 2 AKs, and a Galil. Mid pressure once again by the CTs. They know that the T side is weak right now. They smell blood.
And Angel, as soon as the flashbang and 3 players were there to greet him, he was living on borrowed time. At least 1 kill will try to counterweight the loss that they've just felt. Last round of the half, and it's looking good for North. Woxic caught in transition, pulling his AWP out just after throwing a nade.
AC from that position has been key so far in this game. He's so good coming out of Palace. Guaranteed to kill almost every single time he does that.
Now Dead Fox and a FAMAS against the world. Does have a kit, does have a couple of nades. But he's going to use that flashbang just to try and puncture out of Connect Up. And Valda will take him down. 15-8 is AZ. And definitely one of the main reasons why North have a 9-6 lead at halftime.
Oh, for sure. Like, he's been on point. His entries onto that A-bomb side, especially coming out of Palace, his general play after they've gained map control has been on point. The way that he positions himself in duels. And his aim also. Usually that's not one of the main qualities we mentioned with AZ, but this time around, like, his aim in those 1v1 duels has been on point. The one thing I'm missing right now is Mertz. It's not like he's having a terrible first half. He's at 6-10. He's won a couple of duels, but compared to the way that he was playing yesterday, compared to not yesterday, the day before, compared to the day he was playing in the semi-final, this is not like that. He's been counted out a bit. But on the other side, Woxic hasn't really accelerated either.
I think it's been one of those cases where, because he has the rest of his team all over 10 kills and all getting entries, playing quite aggressive set play-esque Counter-Strike, he hasn't really been required as much. No. Typically, when he's had the AWP, everyone's died ahead of him, and it's just about getting the last kill or two. It's about trying to find HellRaisers who've been on pistols, or they've had saved weapons. And so it can be a bit rough from a team's perspective when you're trying to AWP and your team is just blitzing everybody. This is the half that we do need Mertz to show up, because he is going to get a lot more chances now.
Also, especially the way that they play mid-control on T side. They just rush out with 2 AKs and smoke it off. There's no real need for an AWP. But as you say, CT side, in mid, that's where he can shine. A push coming in from HellRaisers, though.
Kirby on triple by himself, but USP is rattling heads. Make it 3, and he's still alive to tell the tale. Woxic's going to pick up 2, but how's this round going back in favor of HellRaisers? Kirby should have done everything, more than enough. MSL now has to come up clutch once again, and he's took the first head off Woxic's shoulders, but Issa is going to return fire, and Kirby must have his head in his hands like, guys, please. I did everything you could possibly ask.
And then all of a sudden, in a matter of seconds, 3 frags coming in from Woxic. Issa coming in with the last 2 to end it. The dynamic duo of HellRaisers just on point. Look at this. This is perfect from Kirby. They're coming into jungle, but they should be ready for it. But look at this from Woxic. What is this? What can you do against that? Just coming out of smoke, just get straight headshot.
Did land a couple of really sick moments as well earlier today. in the semi-finals. The reason why he's up there for contention with the MVP. Let's see if they can carry this forward, though. HellRaisers winning their second pistol really drags them back into this game. Mertz, in the meanwhile, does have a scout perched up on the ticket booth, looking down into Connector, where 3 players from HellRaisers are about to congregate and look to push through, one of which is Angel. It could be more of a short to B, though, because the positions have been smoked out.
Valde's reading this. He's actually already rotating into kitchen. AC taken out. That's on the opposite side of the map. That is the bait. And the rotation isn't biting. Valde is staying on that B bomb side, but as that entry happens, the mid-round call comes in from HellRaisers. A could be clear, let's go there.
Exactly. Again, adapting to the situation at hand. Angel able to capitalize on MSL. But there is Mertz's scout ripping out the throat of Dead Fox. It should only be a drop in the bucket, though, because elsewhere HellRaisers have been very much in charge of this round. With a bomb plant on top of it, North probably want to try and save these 2 weapons, and there's the drive by Deagle from Kirby. But yeah, they have no interest in going for the bomb.
Nah, Kirby's just going to hold the murder hole here. Try to see if he can jump into CT. That's a nice flick.
Okay, then.
From the young Dane. Valde trying to go for the C set. He will get it as well, and HellRaisers' weapons will be taken away from them. Surviving with a scout, and a Galil will be Kirby and Valde.
This has actually ended up being very costly for HellRaisers. Yes. It was a 4-on-2.
Only 1 AK.
Exactly, and they did go for quite a heavy investment into this round. So actually, Issa, they typically would want to completely satiate his bloodlust and go straight in and take these weapons away. He's like, hold on a second, we're going to have a really bad buy if we lose all our weapons here. Now, do North force off the back of this, knowing how poor HellRaisers' economy is?
With the exact place their economy is right now, I probably won't see them force because most of them are just around 2K, which is perfect for buying in the next round.
Yep. I feel like some teams would go for a force, knowing that HellRaisers are really low, but North more composed.
It's kind of like it all comes down to your playstyle, right? If you're like more an aggressive team that like to capitalize on your opponent's weaknesses, or if you're a very organized team that think about your own gameplay and think about your own setups. And I feel like North is the latter of those 2.
Well, they're going to be tried now at least. The CZ from AZ will chime out for a kill. There is Mertz, learning a few lessons from Kirby, perhaps. Valde's going to use the AK-47 against the terrorists. And now Woxic and Dead Fox in a 2-on-3 stacked against them. They can still easily, swiftly move by this round undeterred, but MSL, right place at the right time. Dead Fox has got 2, not good enough. North will claim the round with a Galil, a Deagle, a CZ, and a Scout.
The timing rotation, so the timing positions for MSL so far this game has been on point. There was that one round where he rotates CT on the big flank. This time around, he's holding that CT angle, waiting for everyone to push towards Cabby, who's holding that very tight angle with the Desert Eagle. When Cabby says, they're pushing me now, that's when MSL goes in. 2 frags in the back, straight with the USP against rifle players on the T side. That's all due to the timing. This is forcing HellRaisers into a buy here. There's no money left if they lose. It's going to be a full eco. And they only have 2 Deagles, a CZ, and 2 Galils. It's not a perfect buy either.
Gone from anticipation at HellRaisers winning the second pistol now to a bit of a nightmare scenario. If they're to lose this, North would start to open up a solid lead. Already stands at 2. Welder spraying up through the wooden panel into B-Apps, but no one is home. HellRaisers have decided to piece out of there and use underpass as their route to connector.
Let's see. Dead Fox, Galil in hand, making its way up towards that B bomb side as HellRaisers has taken mid control, looking poised to go for split A through connector. Oh, not even a split A, just a straight connector push. Everyone is there.
A lot of pressure on AZ, though, to deliver. He's basically by himself, especially the trajectory in which HellRaisers are moving onto the site. Not spotted by CT boxes, but now Mertz is going to be in the thick of the action. HellRaisers, though, looking to try and get a plant down. Very awkward moment where Bonder gets caught from the backside and Angel tries to scamper away into kitchen. He doesn't have the bomb, though. There's no reason for North to move.
Yeah, he can just save this at this point. Like, 11 HP, 1v3, doesn't have the bomb. 15 seconds to go, there's no way he's going to win this round. So the wise choice here, the logical choice would be to save his weapon. And due to the fact that North only have 3 players surviving, they don't want to lose a single player right now. They want to grow their economy, so they're not going to hunt for him either, I feel like.
I think both teams will be relatively happy with the outcome, although HellRaisers, of course, will be disappointed that they weren't able to do more in the lead-up to those last few moments.
Apart from Mertz, the scoreboard is looking very equal on North side. 2 players on 18, 2 players on 15, and then Mertz on 8, who's having a bit of a struggle to get into the game, but surely he'll get firing throughout this best of 3. On the other side of things, for our good friends over at HellRaisers, it's a setting on 16, and then the rest situated around 12, 11, 10 frags. There's a bit of a difference there.
I think it goes to show how back and forth this game is too, that there isn't a huge difference between the 2 teams in terms of overall frags. Everyone over 10 on HellRaisers, you say, and then North pretty much neck and neck. Obviously, they do have more kills as more rounds have gone their way. But here is the tactical timeout about to come to a conclusion. And HellRaisers, it's not really about this round, it's about the next one. Because in terms of this round, it's just an AK-47 joining alongside 4 Glocks. Now, I'd really hope that Angel drops that CZ. Everyone else is on Glocks. There's no reason for you to hog the AK and the CZ here, dude. That's actually triggering me quite a lot. Why?
That has happened to you in matchmaking before?
Many times.
But yeah, I agree. It seems to be like a no-brainer. One of the things, like, we have many questions we see during a game that we would want to ask players when the game is done. This is one of them. Maybe Angel, he's just feeling it. Knows he's going to need it for later. You're going to have to wait and see, but
yeah, just forgot he had it, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean,
potentially.
These things happen.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, it's so hard to compare sitting at home, playing a standard game, to sitting on a stage with hundreds of people in front of you, tens of thousands tuning in online. The pressure to make the correct decision at all times is so hard. I haven't been there myself, but I've heard players talk about it, so the ability to stay cool, calm, collected in this situation is incredibly hard. The AK drops down, luckily for them, but great flashbang Bondik is forced back. Valde went for the flash, went for the frag, but didn't get it.
The CZ is lost. All hope will follow as Bondik has his head drilled into. Kirby with 1. Bomb sprawls out again, just on the cusp of underpass. And Woxic with the AK-47 is going to see if maybe he can take down a few players and stretch that economy a little bit more thin or north, but it's not looking good.
Yeah, at this point, Woxic, if he can, would probably like to save here because there's not really a lot of money on Angel, so he'll have to be on the next round anyways. But with 5 players around him, he's still in mid. That is an impossible task.
Yeah, when you're against 5 players, all that are fully equipped with nades, guns, it's one of the worst places to be stood in because it's not even like you can cordon off short or window with a smoke or a molly.
You have to just be lucky. And
yes, it's a coin flip.
Yeah. And as I said before, like, Angel will be on that CZ. He would love to have that AK-47 with him now, but that's not going to be the case. HellRaisers do need this round, though. If North take it, it's going to be 13 on their end of the scoreboard, and not a lot of money to reinvest for HellRaisers either. It looks like they're going to go for a B play.
MSL's been flashed quite a few times now. Able to dart back, though, to the pillars, but it will not be his Sanctuary, it'll be his Execution. Then Fox will administer it. Quick blow to the head with an AK-47 round. Going to be boosting back onto short boxes. A lot of the time, you'll actually boost your sniper into this position, so you can get the one-and-done shot. But they're looking to get Valda in a turret kind of situation to spray down as many players as possible. The utility, it has to be said, has been used very well by HellRaisers. Constantly in the face of North, really choking them out. And yeah, I think North realize now, okay, this could go horribly wrong. We have a 4-round lead. Obviously, it's going to be 3 after this round, but why chance losing all this equipment? Which is why it's a bit surprising Valda actually came up to underpass.
Yeah, I think the idea is, like, we have to save for sure 3 players, but if we can get some exit kills and get some economical damage onto HellRaisers, that would be nice, but he just gets phased out completely. The HellRaisers player is ready for that position. One thing I have to note is the way that MSL and Mertz played that B bomb site. So MSL is supposed to look over towards the apartments. He gets flashed like 3 times, is forced to rotate back. At that same time, the rotation from Mertz to go from short with his orb and look towards the apartments is very, very slow. He's actually not at that like one position you can hold with the orb out towards the apartments. He's 2 or 3 meters like back from that. And that seems to me like the communication maybe is not at 100% in that situation between those two. That is something they need to work on, because if a quick B play happens again, Mertz needs to be there for that. Because MSL is going to get flashed like that every single time if he's not pre-molotoving or pre-smoking it.
Maybe something for HellRaisers to mull over.
Yeah.
Maybe a future round we'll see them apply the pressure once more. Try and probe it out. MSL, spoilt for choice, ended up spraying straight down the middle. That's not going to do Kirby any favors, or the rest of North, but Kirby doesn't need any help. The one-man army strikes again. AK spray on point, and he will find more. That's not going to be going his way. Woxic in for 2. And now a 2-on-2 defaults us, and Mertz, who's been very quiet, could make amends for all those previous misses if he can clutch his 1v1, but the spray from Woxic connects to the head before the flick. And that's a 12-10 score. And you could see that sigh of relief as well from the HellRaisers boys.
That's a 4K from Woxic as well. Like, he's starting to turn up again once more. But one thing I'd like to note as well from North, they made the correct decision in this round. Because they all, like, after that one round where MSL got flashed, they realized that straight up and said, okay, Kirby, you got to be in a quick rotation. So Kirby is actually already rotated into the side as the execute comes in. So you have 2 players on the side and then Mertz on short, which is the correct decision. The only problem is that they can't really contain Woxic, and that has to be something that they've prepared for, because he is the unstoppable force on every single map for HellRaisers. So correct reaction to what happened the round before, but they still need to contain the star player of the opposite team. And if he starts to run rampant, that's where North will run into problems.
They are right on the brink of losing all their money. They've dipped in deep to their bank account. They've dwindled away the funds. If they were to lose this, it's eco. And HellRaisers will be able to sense that weakness, trying to capitalize. Woxic with an AWP alongside Mertz again.
And now they changed setups. This is interesting. Mertz is playing solo B right now. MSL is rotated and is playing A Palace. Valde in mid and Kirby around connector. So, interesting choice. After 2 quick B rounds, they're saying, okay, they went B 2 times. We're not going to counter them going rush B again. So MSL says, I'll play Palace instead. We'll gamble on them running A, which to me is actually probably the wisest choice. They're gambling on them running in towards the C set, because the C set on B is not going to be able to do much damage anyways. Now, he doesn't get a lot out of this, but he does get information.
Perfect crosshair placement for Issa. Just had to pull left click, and that was it. Kirby feels compelled to go aggressive as a result of losing the first player.
Here comes the B rotation from HellRaisers.
And because Mertz is holding from kitchen as opposed to actually on the site itself,
Kirby.
this could end up being just a retake.
I think this is going to be a short save. Unless he gets like a secondary kill now.
And it's looking like he... Oh, Woxic. Okay. That was lightning quick. Valde, though, in for a kill onto Woxic.
This is doable for North.
Trading out to the AWP. And with a 3-pronged retake in effect, this could get interesting, but Issa will get the drop on Valde. And now suddenly, things are looking a lot more shallow in terms of this retake potential. AZ does have the task of trying to entry back onto the site that's been lost now, which was very good on the T side. But as soon as his death has been signed by Issa, Kirby is out of there.
So unfortunate. Kirby was actually once more ready. He was in kitchen, ready to rotate into the bomb site 5 seconds before the execute happened. But for some reason, he decided to rotate and play window instead. If he had went aggressively into the B bomb site and hold a tight angle, this round would have been so different. It's not to be this time around. HellRaisers will gain yet another round, and they're playing perfect so far. In these last 3 rounds, 3 in a row. It says on 20 frag, Woxic has worked his way up. He's now on 17. If they can get Angel rolling again, then I don't see how North can stop them here, Mirage.
Yeah, as we highlighted before, in terms of the economy, North are already broken down. And it has been a lot of mind games thrown in from HellRaisers. You saw MSL, I mean, you did touch on this, that he goes into Palace, they have Mertz playing defensively, I should say.
Yep.
But MSL pushing Palace and dying pretty much ruins any plans that North had. As soon as that happens, it's like, well, MSL's been seen on B, so B should be weak.
Exactly.
Let's push B, the rest falls into place.
Because I understand the plan if he plays defensively and they have like that joker of another CZ player on that bomb site, but when he goes aggressive for information, that just... Yeah, it's always easy to see when you have the bird's eye view and the overview and everything, but in some situations we expect CS players to be perfect, and that wasn't a perfect play.
Well, perfection is exactly what North will need to reach if they were to win this round. CZ P250 and M4. That is all the arsenal of weaponry that they possess other than the standard USPs.
Pretty much textbook Counter-Strike once more from HellRaisers on that T side. Get out to mid, take control, smoke the window off. Just make sure that the CTs are either worrying about you taking the full mid control or you just taking the full mid control. And it's the worry this time around. For the players set up for a B push.
More centralized in their defense for the time being for North. 2 players around window, 1 connector. Angel is going to feel out ramp. He is going to find himself AZ, who will put the P250 to use. And the knee-jerk reaction from HellRaisers is to go all out B. Looking to demolish the site. Woxic onto Valda. Will thin the herd that much more. The spray's on point. Kirby falls, as will MSL. And as will North in round 24. AZ, the only hope. And he is backing away with the saved AK-47. Mertz, of course, only with USP. No reason to save. So you're going to go in and see what he can get done. But the round's over. We're going to be tied up at 12 apiece.
The good old take mid control, in-game leader fakes A, the rest of the team goes B. It's a pretty basic strategy, but if you have the correct timings and the correct execute with it on the B play, it can be so powerful, especially with the entry potential you have in Isa and Woxic as well. Like, sometimes it's the simple stuff that works out.
It didn't need to be anything too flair or spectacular from HellRaisers. They knew the task ahead of them was pretty simple. No frill CS, but very effective. However, North will be coming back into a buy.
This is also 12-12, with a full buy coming in from North, then buying all the way down. Yes, they have a 4-round loss bonus, but the buy, if they lose, this is not going to be as good. This is a key round. This is going to pretty much decide who gets the upper hand in the last part of this first map. If HellRaisers take it, I feel like the momentum will just carry them straight to 16. If North take this, we could be in for a very tight affair.
Mertz playing out through short, maybe feeling that he hasn't had quite the impact that's been required.
Exactly.
And will go looking for kills. But be careful what you wish for, Mertz, because Woxic isn't too far away. And although he didn't have a fantastic first half, he's now moved to 20. He's starting to land a whole lot more. Mertz with a flick across to Issa. Another player that has been a standout for HellRaisers over the duration of this event. And Mertz, he's done his job. He can back away to ladder, look for another peek, and he's going to get it onto Woxic. That's much better. Molotov Doubt's going to have to drop into window. And there's another molly. This is going to get a bit awkward for Mertz. Smoke deployed, and he will be able to see a small gap towards mid. This is North in a very good chance to take the lead once more.
And this is what they needed. They needed Mertz to step up. He goes for an aggressive angle, a very high-risk, high-reward play, gets 2 kills out of it. In the end, might even get a 3rd one now as they're trying to retake mid-control. 2 angles at the same time, 4 HP. A well-placed nade will take him out right now, but I don't think Dead Fox is in position for it. Actually, he was trying to go for the nade, but 3 kills for Mertz. And this should be North shutting down the round. It's 3v2, MSL in good positioning. Has backup available. Gets a frag onto Bondik, and now it's all on Angel.
That was the hope. If Bondik could have taken down MSL, then there was an avenue which HellRaisers could have traversed down, but instead, a 1-on-3, 12 seconds left, Angel low. Round done. 13-12. Well played, Mertz.
Yeah, and confidence is such an important thing in Counter-Strike in general, but especially when you're on AWP, and especially if you're a young AWP trying to prove yourself on a team like North, coming in from the academy team, being just a couple of years younger than everybody else, and especially with the pressure he's had in the last couple of months, because he's not performing up to par, some would say. For him to go and make an aggressive play like that in round number 25 in a grand final is huge.
And if MSL signed that command, then that shows how much confidence he has in his AWPer. You go aggressive, you win us this round.
And I think that is the case.
So now it's down to North to call another tactical timeout.
That's their 4th and final for this map. So if more problems arise in 2 2 or 3 rounds time. They don't have any more timeouts remaining. They don't have any more time for MSL to take a breather. They don't have time for Ave to come in with any help. This is it. They're now alone on the server, you could say.
Let's see how HellRaisers react to the timeout. Typically, been having a lot of joy over on the B side up until these last couple of rounds. Mertz gets flashed out, won't be landing the flick. Was asking a lot of him, however, but will smoke and Molotov just to make sure that no fast plays are imminent. That HellRaisers don't have someone charging up through underpass.
They switch positions this round, Kirby and Mertz. Kirby now's placed short. Mertz is on towards that A bomb site with the orb. So just trying to change things up after that tactical timeout. Gonna have to wait and see if it proves fruitful. Currently setting up for an A split are HellRaisers. AC.
Oh, that's Bondik getting the better of him. Wasn't expecting a second player to be that close. And Valda able to get a kill, smoke down, and elsewhere Mertz is teeing off again. 2 more kills added. And Woxic and Dead Fox.
MSL flanking once again. These 2 players will be caught off guard in just a couple of seconds.
Indeed they will, or maybe not. Dead Fox does just look around. It could have been a pure timing thing when they both decided, okay, we're in ramp, let's back away to B. We know A's a no-go zone.
But MSL made too much noise in that situation. There were 45 seconds left and he kept running into a ramp. I feel like that should be a whole shift down for all God's life in that moment. Just make sure you don't make any noise. You have so much time. But luckily for North, Mertz and Valdi are there, so it doesn't matter in the end. Mertz with the 3K. And him stepping up in the last dying moments of this first map is so important for North. He was the one being behind, having a 8-12 scoreline, 8-15 scoreline. Now he's at 16 frags, almost at a neutral score.
I definitely think the state of play has helped him out too. On the T side, couldn't really get his AWP functioning, whereas on the CT side, he's been in the right position, short window connector, and then falling back where it counts, able to then have an impact when it's the 3v3s, the 2v2s.
Oh yeah, he is more of a CT side AWP, a more positional turret-esque AWP, where let's say a guy like Kenny S will go more aggressive and try to hit those flicks, trying to open up bomb site with an AWP. That's not the role that Mertz has, and that's not the role that he's gonna be able to excel in. But the role he has right now, and the way he's playing on the CT side, is exactly how he's molded to play this AWP.
Well, now it's time for HellRaisers to feel the pressure, to sweat a little bit, as they call their tactical timeout. And it's going to be pretty simple, straightforward Counter-Strike. You've all seen this before. Rush B as fast as possible and hope the CTs miss. MSL will not be doing anything of the sort alongside Kirby. The bomb has been dropped, as have the bulk of HellRaisers. Issa, Desert Eagle, 7 bullets dwindled down to 5. He's going to have to hope that each and every one of them connect if he wants even a slight glimmer of hope into round 27. Isn't sure as to whether someone's flanking around the back through B-Apps. I mean, he does have a minute and 10. He doesn't need to get a shimmy on just yet.
He's just trying to find that 1 pixel angle, and that slightly noise made. Everyone knows exactly where he is. Go for the peak long range. That's going to be round number 15, and we saw it at 12-12. We had that 1 buy. And that's what it all came down to. North took that. Mertz stepped up. And this is pretty much like, yes, there's 1 round remaining, but ended this map.
As a result of the CZs and the Desert Eagles, though, it will be full assault rifles with 2 Galils joining the 3 AK-47s. That allows him to get some more smokes and Molotovs, and it's going to look like a set play is on the horizon. Kirby looking for information, will find it. It's at the cost of his life, and that's not really worth it with so much time remaining.
Maybe a bit of a misplay from Kirby.
However, with this set play coming in risk, it may not end up mattering. AZ can still see ramp clearly. Flashbang gonna land in his eyes, but he can actually use that smoke as a bit of cover. And clearly HellRaisers didn't realize that the smoke was off. AZ's came in for 2. A huge mistake is gonna cost HellRaisers dearly. Woxic and Angel have it all to do. Make it Angel on just 13 health. Lucky for some, unlucky for others. And certainly the latter for Angel and for HellRaisers. 16-12 opening. Solid stuff by North.
Solid stuff. When it came down to the crucial points of the game, they had the right game plan, they had the right mentality, they had the confidence in their AWP. Mertz stepped up in the end, and I have to say, Kirby, Valda, the 2 stars of the team, stepping up as well towards the end of this game. Actually, to be honest, Valve throughout the whole game. AZ very impressive on the T side. There's so many plus points right now for North. And these are things that we are not used to saying, right? Because usually it's all about the negatives. Right? And this time around, they actually look really, really solid. Even though the players, the one thing we're missing is maybe Woxic hitting the last 10-15%. We're missing that. But yeah, it's a really, really good start for North.
It certainly is. Let's jump over to the analyst desk and see what those guys have to say about that.
Yeah, thank you very much, Vince and Risk, as I slightly adjust some stuff behind my back. Guys, it seems like the risk of picking Mirage paid off for North, but there was a moment there where HellRaisers were starting to get a bit of momentum. Natu, give me your opinion on how they kind of created that victory.
I mean, I feel like it could have been much more one-sided unless HellRaisers picked up that second pistol and Woxic with a massive first Caribou 3K by the firebox, and then Woxic is like,
oh,
you said it, yeah. What I can do, what you can do, I can do better. And yeah, it's managed to win that one-on-one, give them that lifeline. But what I really felt was weird compared to all the other games from HellRaisers is that they were very disjointed. Far too many times did I see them just like going one by one, not really paying attention to keeping the distances between the players short enough so that they could trade effectively enough. For example, they throw a smoke, they try to isolate the bomb site, they just jump to middle dry without having a smoking window. There's an op in the window. He can take that first pick, he gets the second pick as well. Totally dismantles the whole attack, and that kind of a trend kept on happening. 13-12 situation, North has the lead. There's a possibility for HR to still get into the game. Bond gets the first kill on the AZ in A slope. He decides to run through the smoke.
Jump through.
That doesn't really make sense. I mean, unless they have the information that there's a middle stack and AZ was the lone player, but if he was a lone player, why the hell would he be in the pit? So yeah, those kind of little niche things were definitely in the favor of North, and HR looking really disconnected.
Yeah, we did mention before the match began that on North, if Kiebi stepped up, it would be important. And he definitely had a fantastic match, Blair.
Yeah, he did indeed, right? And AZ as well on the T side, he was getting a lot of crucial kills. Everyone was really doing their job, so to speak, when it comes to the fragging department. MSL on that B bomb set was instrumental in shutting down a couple of plays as well. Mertz wasn't really topping anything, but hey, you know, late in the game when he picked up the op, he had at least like 2 or 3 rounds where he got triple kills and guaranteed they won those rounds. Just to add on to what Natu mentioned in regards to how North were, how HellRaisers was playing, North, I think got a little lucky as well that they managed to escape with some weird decision making coming out. For example, that one round where MSL was getting the bomb and just stopped and went for the fight over there. Something you don't expect from someone like MSL, right? And another round was when they knew HR just had pistols to work with, just went for a dry contact play towards A bomb, just ran in and just got slaughtered with those CZ. So some strange decision making overall from both teams, but North were obviously the better team here.
North had a good T-side as well, getting 9 rounds. Keeping everything we've said in mind, going into Inferno, do you think they can carry that momentum on and also, you know, apply that to that map?
I think HR just really needs to reset at this point in time and not really. I mean, Mirage was the curveball pick from North, and they managed to grasp that. I feel like this is the moment where HellRaisers are going to come back to it. I mean, North definitely is a team that tried to embrace Inferno as a map pick early on when it was reintroduced to the map pool, but they've never really managed to make it their own, so to speak. So I still feel HellRaisers definitely has a possibility of coming into this.
Absolutely. Inferno, like we saw them from on the match against Envious, right? They got completely destroyed, but they just like shook it off immediately, and they even picked Inferno immediately for the next game they had. So I think they're not going to let this game really bother them. I think they're going to be feeling more comfortable in Inferno. I don't think they were really prepared for Mirage, to be honest. I think it would have caught them by surprise as well, and they definitely should be prepared in Inferno, and this should be, a good game.
Indeed, in which case, an extremely smart pick by North taking Mirage. If HellRaisers want to stay in contention to lift that trophy, they'll need to come back on Inferno, and we'll see if they can muster up the strength to do so after the break.